Hello and welcome to Multiplying and Dividing by Powers of 10 with Cube Education. In this lecture you will multiply by 10 100 and 1000 and divide by 10 100 and 1000. So let's have a look through a few questions and see if you can recognise a pattern. 24 times 10, 240. 2 times 10, 20. 3.4 times 10, 34. 18 times 10, 180. Okay, so 10 has only one zero. If 10 has only one zero, then when we multiply by 10, all we do is move the decimal point one place to the right, giving us 34 in this case. Okay. If we did 18 times 10, we still move the decimal point one place from the end of the number. It's an invisible decimal point in this case, because really there's not actually a decimal point at the end of every number when we look at them. But if we pretend that there is, unless you can see a decimal point somewhere in a number, like in 3.4 for example, pretend that there is a decimal point at the end of every number. And that way, when you multiply by 10, you will always remember to move the decimal point. So there is only one zero in 10, so we move the decimal point one place, giving us 180. And technically, because we've moved the decimal point one place, we need to add a zero. There has to be a number there. Okay, the rule is you either move the decimal point you either move the decimal point one place or add a zero. Okay, let's have a look at some more. 24 times 100, 2,400. 2 times 100, 200. 3.4 times 100, 340. 18 times 100, 1,800. So in 100, there are two zeros. So if you could think about what we did with the 10, in this case, we have to move the decimal point two places or add two zeros. So 3.4, there's one place, there's another place. Okay, anywhere that there is a spare archway, a zero will go there. So in this case, we had to move it one place, okay, and then that would have made 34 if we were timesing by 10, but as we're timesing by 100, we move it a second place, ending up with a zero on the end as well, okay. So 18 times 100, again, two places. There's two spare archways, we have to put two zeros, 1,800. Okay, so looking at 1,000 now, 24 times 1,000 is 24,000. 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. 3.4 times 1,000 is 3,400, and 18 times 1,000 is 18,000. So if we look at the 1,000, we know that there are three zeros in 1,000, which means we are either going to have to move the decimal point three places to the right or add three zeros. Let's have a look at 3.4 for example. 3.4, we're going to go 1, okay, 2, 3. So because we've got a decimal point in there, we have to move it three places to the right and add two zeros to fill those two gaps. 18 times 1,000, there's no decimal point, so we just go from the end of the number three times, giving us 18,000. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at a few of these questions. Put them all down, I think I did about 10. Oops, showed you the first answer, hopefully you didn't see. So pause the video and have a go and press play for the answers. Okay, if you pause the video, let's have a look. 13 times 10, nice and easy, just add a zero. 24 times 100, easy, add two zeros. 6.7 times 10, 67, we'll just move the decimal point one place because it only has one zero. 0.3 times 100 is going to be 30. So be careful, just make sure you remember that when you're moving it, that's one, and then the second one is going to have to put you're going to have to put a zero on the end. Okay, so the first zero is when you move that, the second zero is when you move again. And you just get rid of the 0 point on the front. 12.56 times 1,000. Well, you've got to move it three places, so 1, 2, and then one more. So it'll be 12,560. 78 times 1,000, nice and easy, 78,000. This one, 0.04 times 10, you're going to move it one place, remember? So the decimal point is actually going to sit in between those two numbers, so it's going to be 0.4. And then 9.8 times 100, again, you're going to have to go one and then another one, so 980. Okay? Right, so let's move on to division. Division is exactly the same, but it's just one different step. We move the other way. So let's have a look at these and see if you can recognise a pattern. 24 divided by 10, 2.4. 2 divided by 10, 0.2. 3.4 divided by 10, 0.34. 18 divided by 10, 1.8. Again, you can see that there's only one 0 in 10, so we only have to move the decimal point one space or get rid of a 0. Okay, so 3.4 divided by 10, this time we go the other way. Okay, so instead of going to the right, we're going to go to the left and put the decimal point there. Now the only difference is when you get to the front of the number, you must put a 0 point in front of it. If the decimal point lands at the front, it must be a 0 point. So our answer will be 0.34, okay? Because your decimal point is falling there, and we can't just put 3 or 34 because that decimal means something. If your decimal comes to the end of the number and there's nothing else to do, you just get rid of it. 18 divided by 10, we just go back one space, and it falls in between those two numbers, giving us 1.8. Okay, let's move on. Looking at hundreds now. 24 divided by 100 is 0.24. 2 divided by 100 is 0.02. 3.4 divided by 100, 0.034. 18 divided by 100, 0.18. So we'll just go through some examples, and as you can see, there's 2 zeros in 100, so we're going to go 2 places to the left. Let's look at 3.4. 3.4 divided by 100, we need to go 1, 2. Okay. Now, because I've gone over there and then there, my decimal point drops here, meaning I'm going to have to put a 0 point and another 0. So it'll be 0.034. Okay. And then 18 divided by 100, we go back 1, 2. And because my decimal point lands in front of the 1, I must put a 0 point at the beginning. 0.18. Okay. Finally, dividing by 1,000. Bit of effort, I suppose, with 3 zeros. 24 divided by 1,000 is 0.024. 2 divided by 1,000, 0.002. 3.4 divided by 1,000, 0.0034. And 18 divided by 1,000, 0.018. So again, this has 3 zeros, so we're going to move 3 places to the left. Looking at 3.4, we need to go 1, 2, 3. And again, your decimal point is going to drop there. So it's going to be 0 point, and then you've got 2 spare archways for 2 more zeros. 0.0034. Okay. 18 divided by 1,000, you're going to go 1, 2, and 3, giving you your decimal point dropping here. So 0 point and then a 0 in that archway. 0.018. So when you're multiplying and dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000, all the numbers are more or less the same. It just depends how many zeros and are going to be in the answer. So you will get a printable to go along with these to give you some extra practice if you need it. But here are some questions. 8. I feel like I did 10, but obviously not. Okay. Here are some questions to have a go at. Pause the video and press play for the answers. Okay, so if you've had a go, let's have a look at the answers then. So let me just check that I got, yeah. 13 divided by 10, oh dear, sorry, 1.3. 24 divided by 100, 0.24. 6.7 divided by 10, 0.67. 0.3 divided by 100, 0.003. 12.56 divided by 1,000, 0.01256. 78 divided by 1,000, 0.078, 0.04 divided by 10, 0.004, and 9.8 divided by 100, 0.098. So well done, and I hope you got all those correct, and thank you so much for using Cubic Education. I'll see you in the next lecture.